Hello, everyone. My name is Vanessa Paramo. Welcome to this week's episode of Fangirls Only. This week, our special guest is Lorelei Marcell. So, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm so good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So, before we start the interview, do you want to tell everyone watching about yourself?
Yeah, I'm currently a full-time singer-songwriter artist. I live in Los Angeles, California. And yeah, I'm just doing the music thing, making it work out here. So, yeah, I'm currently 21 and I moved out here when I was 18. And I grew up on the East Coast. Um, and just started by like posting on Instagram and covers I was doing and playing just gigs around my hometown and stuff, and eventually decided to do it full time. So, yeah.
That's fun. Okay, so I've seen that you're going on tour in a few weeks with Troy Ramey. So,
Yeah.
what can we expect from your performance? Like everyone in the audience, like what can they expect?
Yeah, that's a good question. I usually this is gonna be like my first time doing like an acoustic only set on like a tour type setting. I've been on the road before, but it was like with tracks and my MD and like guitarist came with me. Um, and it was just a very different type of show, and I feel like I'm used to doing the more like full band type performances, which I'm so lucky to get to play with other talents and musicians. But it's definitely going to be more like stripped back acoustic. And I think it'll be a really, hopefully, good way to showcase more of like the lyrics and my voice and stuff and just connect more with the audience. But either way, I think both have many pros. And yeah, I'm excited.
I feel like with like acoustic sets and stuff, like you can like understand the artist more, like the meaning behind the songs and
Yeah.
like the vibe of the song. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite like artists you listen to or like lyrics or anything?
Um,
Sorry, I'm like interviewing you now.
I was not ready to be put on the spot.
All good.
I don't know. I have a few, but not at the top of my head.
It's fair. Yeah.
I
I know I can
mean,
like never think of people I listen to when people
and
ask me.
I listen to like the same like three people. Like I need to like
Yeah.
expand my like listening.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay, so your new EP, Dear Conformity, came out a few months ago in May. So what was your favorite part about making the EP?
Oh gosh, I love these songs. I think as a whole the project felt like really different. I feel like I released an album in this past April, or not this past April, but like a year in 2023 April. I don't even know what day it is anymore, um, but that project was really about like a breakup I had gone through and like moving and just like a transitional period of my life. And I feel like in some ways, Dear Conformity, that was called Bittersweet Stages, my album. But I feel like in a lot of ways, Dear Conformity like emulates a lot of the same things as that album, but it's more about like a self-reflection of moving across the country and like figuring out like what it means to do your own thing and trying to kind of block out like noise. And I think the project as a whole is really meant for people in like a transitional period of their life. And like you could argue we're always in that, just with how quickly things change and how different we are like day after day, month after month. So um, yeah, I don't know if that answered your question,
Oh, it
but
is.
the process was so great. I got to make it with two amazing people, Anna Klein and Chris Rizzo, in Nashville, and getting to travel to Nashville and like cut vocals and do all of that was really special. So,
So how do you think your musical taste changed ever since you started and like you started music until your recent EP?
ooh, I think it's always growing. I think every like artist might relate to this in some way or but I think like once you put out music, you're like kind of over it or you like try and one up it or like change something in I don't know, just like the artistry of it all like after it comes out. So I definitely feel like I'm always trying to do that and just tap into like new elements. And I think a lot of my instincts as like a child, I'm kind of trying to revert back to. I was really into certain like genres of music growing up, and I feel like I'm trying to get more in that, I don't know, lane again. And then I feel like it's really easy to like chase a sound that isn't authentic, but I'm trying to like revert back to more of those things and sing what's like true to my voice, and not, yeah, just it's hard to not compare, but I think trying to do more of that. Yeah.
So, what is it about music that makes you feel passionate?
Ooh, I think it's always been like this is gonna sound so cheesy, but I think it's always been like in my bloodstream and like just in me. I've always loved to sing. I think it's always been the one thing that's been very like secure in my life. Just always, and my family is so supportive of like the fact that I wanted to come out here and pursue a career, and just I don't know, the stars kind of aligned when I was making that decision, and they still do. I feel like it's just like a gut feeling, and that like this is what I'm supposed to do. I just don't think there's anything else that I am as passionate about, and I don't know. It's like it's the best language, and it's everything. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so what is your favorite song of yours that you've released so far?
Oh God, I don't know if I have a favorite. It's a lot of the unreleased music I have that I'm like really into, but I always say that. So I don't know. I would say Dear Conformity is definitely a favorite. I really love Linger off the EP as well. And yeah, I have a few highlights from my album too, but I think they're just very different. But I'd say those two as of now. I think the funnest one to sing is What Is Love off my EP. I think that one just I enjoy singing that one live the most, but I don't know. I'd say if I'd have a favorite, but yeah.
Well, they're all really good. Okay,
Thank you.
so do you have any favorite fan encounters you so far in your career?
Yeah, that's such a good question. Um, yes, there was. I remember this. There was this one time. This like absolutely made my entire month, year, everything. But I remember I went to. I've started getting really into like Pilates and like yoga this past year because I feel like I my like balance is terrible. I got foot surgery a few years ago, and like I feel like I'm so clumsy after that surgery. I just like don't have the best balance. So I was trying to get into like those types of workouts because I've heard that like makes you more balanced and flexible and everything. This is a random story, but I went with my sister to this like Pilates class, I believe, back on the East Coast. And I remember the teacher was like a fan of a few of my songs, and she played some of the songs in class. She was like, "This is on my playlist," and that was probably like the coolest thing that's happened, fan wise. Just yeah, I mean, everyone I've ever like met who's felt connected to the music is just like near and dear. But that was probably like the one that hit home the hardest.
That's like the most random place to like meet a fan, like in the Pilates class, or like playing music. Oh yeah, wait, that's my song.
Yeah, I feel like I always listen to like my favorite songs when I work out, so it was just like very like cool to see that like other people like would listen to my music working, I don't know, working out or whatever. So yeah.
Where do you see your music going in 10 years?
Ooh. Um, I mean, hopefully like, just reaching as many people as possible. I think if you're lucky enough to have a career in music, and have people listen to like what you have to say, I think there's a lot of privilege that comes with that. And like power in what you say and what you do. And I just hopefully like, you know, using all of that potential and everything, if I have a bigger fan base, then just in the right ways. And yeah, I guess we'll just kind of wait and see. I feel like it's really hard to think about the future because you never really know like what's gonna happen. But I'm definitely in it for the long game, so fingers crossed. It's just reaching as many people and touring and meeting my favorite artists and collaborating with people, and yeah,
It'll happen.
fingers crossed. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the last question. And do you have any favorite performances in your career so far?
Ooh, I'd say the one that comes to mind is I got to play at the Troubadour like a year and a half ago now, a few months before my album came out, and that was just like such an incredible showcase. My like one of my dream venues was the Troubadour, so I think it was just super cool to like walk the same stage that like a bunch of icons have, and yeah, that's like the one that comes to mind. But
I s-
going on tour too when I was younger was like just like they were really small clubs and bar type venues, but it was just a cool experience to play every night at like different places. So
I swear that Jupiter is like where like everyone like goes like before they get famous. Like when they're like just
yeah,
like
yeah,
like the
yeah,
next month they're like huge. Like, it's crazy.
yeah. I remember I like before I played there, I was like Googling like everyone who'd played there, and it was like Harry Styles, like all these random people, and like they would do little like pop-up shows there, and I was like, okay, so this isn't intimidating at all. Like this is good. Yeah, I was definitely freaking out a bit, but
Okay, so that was all the questions. So thank you so much for coming on. It's great having you.
yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun. I can't wait to listen back.
No problem.
And if anyone sees this before mid-July, end of July, definitely come to a show in the Boston area if you're around.
Love the promotion.
I know, my little plug. Yeah.
Well, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.